Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever wanted, your deepest desires, your dreams, your hopes, were already here. Take a moment to picture it. The joy of achieving your goal, the sense of accomplishment, the peace that comes with knowing you have everything you've ever desired. Now, as you hold that image in your mind, ask yourself, why is it not my reality right now? Why am I still waiting for something outside of me to change before I can feel this joy, this sense of fulfillment? This is where most people get stuck. They wait for external circumstances to shift before they can experience the emotions that come with having their desires fulfilled. But what if I told you the power to create everything you've ever wanted is already within you? The secret to manifesting your desires, the secret to living the life you envision, is in understanding that it is not the world outside of you that must change, but your inner world, your feelings, your beliefs. The external world is simply a reflection of what you carry within. At the core of this is one simple yet profound principle. Your reality is shaped by how you feel. The feelings you hold within yourself, the emotions you create in your mind, are not just fleeting states. They are the building blocks of your life. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and most importantly, your feelings are what mold and create your reality. This is not just a philosophical idea. It is the law of creation. What you feel deeply, what you truly believe in your heart, is what becomes your experience. This brings us to the first and most important lesson. To create the life you desire, you must first learn to feel it as if it is already yours. This is the key to unlocking the universe's most powerful creative force, the power of feeling. Most people operate under the false belief that they must wait for their desires to materialize before they can feel the way they want to feel. But the truth is, the very feeling you want to experience is what will bring those desires into your reality. You must not wait for the evidence to appear first. The feeling of your desire fulfilled must come first, and only then will the evidence follow. Think about this for a moment. Every desire you have, every dream you wish to manifest, is tied to a specific feeling. That feeling is the essence of your desire. If you want abundance, you want to feel prosperous. If you want love, you want to feel cherished. If you want success, you want to feel accomplished. But the key is that you do not have to wait for the external conditions to line up perfectly before you can feel these emotions. In fact, it is the exact opposite. You must begin by feeling them now, before anything in your external world has changed. This is where most people go wrong. They wait for the world to give them a reason to feel these emotions. But the truth is, the feeling itself is the cause, and the external world is the effect. When you begin to feel the emotions associated with your desire, you are stepping into the realm of creation. This is where you are no longer a passive observer of life, but a powerful creator. The feeling is the force that sets everything into motion. It is the energy that activates the law of attraction. When you feel it deeply and authentically, you align with the frequency of your desire. And as you align with that frequency, the universe begins to respond. It brings you the people, the opportunities, the circumstances that match your vibration. It's important to understand that this process is not about wishful thinking or superficial hope. It is about embodying the feeling of your desire, as if it is already real, as if it has already happened. The key to this is in the word embody. You must not just think about your desire, you must feel it with every part of your being. Imagine yourself already living in the reality you want to create. Picture yourself experiencing the success, the love, the abundance, or whatever it is you desire. As you do this, allow the feeling of that experience to become real to you. Let it fill you completely. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the peace, the sense of fulfillment. Do this every day, and over time, the feeling will become more real to you than the external circumstances. The more you practice this, the more natural it will become. You will begin to live from the feeling of your desire fulfilled, rather than from the feeling of lack or want. You will no longer feel like something is missing in your life. Instead, you will feel whole, complete, and abundant, knowing that everything you need is already on its way to you. The key is to make this feeling your dominant state of being. This is not a one-time exercise. It is a daily practice, a way of living. The more you practice this, the more your reality will shift to match your inner state. Now let's talk about doubt. It is natural for doubts to arise, especially when the physical evidence of your desire has not yet appeared. But here's the important part. When doubt enters your mind, return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Don't dwell on the doubt. Instead, immerse yourself once again in the feeling of having what you want. This practice of returning to the feeling again and again is what strengthens your ability to create. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as you continue to feel the fulfillment of your desires, doubt will begin to fade, and your faith in the process will grow. It is in this practice, this daily commitment to feeling your desires as already fulfilled, that the magic happens. The world around you will begin to change. You will notice synchronicities, opportunities, and events that support your new way of being. People will show up in your life who reflect the feelings you've been cultivating. The circumstances of your life will begin to shift, and what once seemed impossible will start to unfold with ease. The reality you experience is not random. It is the result of the feelings you choose to embody. When you can feel the end result of your desire as if it is already here, the entire universe begins to align with that feeling. Your life will no longer be a series of random events or circumstances. It will be a reflection of the emotions you have chosen to live from. The power lies within you. The feeling you choose today will shape the reality you experience tomorrow. So choose wisely. Feel it now, and the world will follow. Imagine for a moment that you have the ability to step into any reality you desire. The life you've always dreamed of is just waiting for you to claim it. Now let me ask you, what is stopping you from living that life right now? Why do you wait for the right time or the right conditions? Why do you believe that the world around you must change before you can experience the feelings of success, love, or fulfillment? What if I told you that you have the power right now to create the life you desire simply by changing the way you feel? You see, the world around you is a reflection of the inner world within you. Your outer circumstances are not the cause of your experiences. They are merely the effects of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you carry inside. This is not just some abstract idea or philosophy. This is the universal law that governs everything. Your inner state, the way you feel about yourself and the world, is the creator of your external reality. And the key to transforming your life is understanding that you do not have to wait for the outside world to change before you can feel the way you want to feel. You can feel it now. And in doing so, you will begin to see the world around you shift to reflect that feeling. The process begins with understanding the power of your imagination. Your imagination is not just a tool for daydreaming or escape. It is the creative force that shapes your reality. When you imagine something, you are not merely playing with fantasies. You are creating the blueprint for your future. Every thought, every image you hold in your mind is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your imagination. And just as a seed eventually grows into a tree, the thoughts and images you nourish in your imagination will eventually grow into your reality. But for this to happen, you must feel the truth of what you imagine. To create the life you desire, you must live from the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. This is the most powerful practice you can undertake. Imagine that you have already achieved your goal, that your desire has already materialized. What would it feel like? How would you walk, talk, think, and act if you were already living in that reality? This is the key. You must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and you must do so with all your heart and mind. The more vividly you can imagine and feel the reality you desire, the more real it becomes to you. But the key to this process is that you must not wait for the physical evidence to show up before you start feeling this way. Most people make the mistake of waiting for their circumstances to change before they can feel what they want to feel. But the truth is, it is the feeling that brings about the change. When you feel the way you would if you had already achieved your desires, the universe must respond by bringing you the conditions that match your inner state. This may sound too simple or even too good to be true, but it is the way the universe works. Everything in your life has come to you through your thoughts, your belief, and most importantly, your feelings. When you change the way you feel, you change the vibration you are sending out into the world. And when you change your vibration, you begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that are in harmony with that vibration. It is important to realize that you are not just passively observing life, you are actively creating it. Every thought and feeling you have is a powerful force that shapes the events of your life. Your imagination is not a passive tool. It is the active creator of your future. And when you align your feelings with your desires, when you live from the feeling of already having what you want, you are setting the creative forces in motion. This is not about being unrealistic or ignoring the challenges of life. It is about recognizing that the challenges you face are simply opportunities for you to apply the power of feeling. When you feel the emotions associated with your desires, success, abundance, love, health, you are aligning yourself with the state of being that attracts those very things into your life. But here's the secret. You must feel it fully and completely. The more real the feeling is, the more quickly your desires will manifest. You must practice living from the end result, not from the present circumstances. If you want wealth, feel what it would be like to already have financial freedom. If you want love, feel what it would be like to already be in a fulfilling relationship. If you want success, feel what it would be like to have already achieved your goals. This is not a temporary exercise. It must become your way of living. The more you live from the feeling of having your desires already fulfilled, the more you will begin to see those desires manifest in your physical reality. But what about doubt? It is natural for doubts to arise, especially when you do not yet see the evidence of your desires in the physical world. But this is where the practice becomes most powerful. When doubt arises, do not give it your energy. Instead, return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Every time doubt comes to the surface, simply return to the feeling of having what you want, and let that feeling drown out the doubt. Over time, the more you practice feeling your desires as already fulfilled, the less room doubt will have to take root. The more you align with the feeling of your desire already being realized, the more powerful your belief in the process becomes. It is important to remember that you are always creating, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. Your thoughts and feelings are constantly shaping your reality. The key to transforming your life is to consciously choose the feelings that align with your desires and to live from that state as if your desires have already come to fruition. This is not a matter of waiting for the world to change. It is a matter of changing yourself first. When you change the way you feel, the world around you will change to match that new vibration. The power to create the life you desire is already within you. It is in the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you live each day. When you learn to live from the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, the universe will have no choice but to reflect that feeling back to you. Your reality will shift to match the new vibration you are sending out. And as you continue to practice this, you will find that the life you desire is already on its way to you. You need only feel it fully and completely to bring it into being. Take a moment and imagine the life you want to live. Visualize yourself in the fullness of your desires, your ideal job, your perfect health, the love and relationships you long for, the financial abundance you desire. Picture it in as much detail as you can. Now let me ask you, how real does that future feel to you right now? Is it something distant? Something that you hope will one day come true? Or is it a living, breathing reality that you experience in the present moment? This is the key. How real you make it, how deeply you feel it, is the catalyst for its manifestation. Most people go through life thinking that they must wait for their desires to manifest before they can feel the emotions associated with them. They believe that once they have what they want, only then will they feel successful, fulfilled, loved, or at peace. However, the truth is that the sequence is entirely backward. In reality, it is your ability to feel these emotions before the external reality manifests that allows it to materialize. The emotions you carry with you, whether of love, joy, abundance, or success, are not only reflections of what you hope to one day experience, they are the very forces that bring your desires into existence. This is not merely a hopeful idea, it is the fundamental law of creation. The feeling you hold within yourself, how deeply and authentically you can experience your desired state of being, is the creative force that shapes your life. The world around you does not create your feelings. Your feelings create your world. Your outer experiences are always the effects of the inner world that you cultivate. The events that unfold in your life are not random or the result of chance. They are the direct consequence of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you hold within. If you want to change the circumstances of your life, you must first change the way you feel about your desires. This is the key to unlocking the power of manifestation. You must begin by assuming the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. Imagine yourself living in the reality you desire. Feel it, experience it, as though it is happening right now. Your mind may tell you, this isn't possible yet, or I haven't achieved it yet. But this is where you must shift your thinking. To manifest your desires, you must stop waiting for the external world to confirm what you wish for, and instead begin by confirming it within yourself. You must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled with the same certainty you would have if the physical evidence were already present. You are not imagining a future event. You are living in the present moment, as though the future has already arrived. The feeling of fulfillment is not something you wait for. It is something you create. Imagine that you are already living in the abundant state you desire. How does it feel to be prosperous, to be healthy, to be in love? Allow yourself to feel that emotion fully. Let it course through you. This is the power that will bring your desires into reality. The stronger and more vivid the feeling, the faster it will manifest. It is not enough to simply think about your desires. You must feel them as real, as alive, as if they are already part of your reality. Many people make the mistake of thinking that their desires must be achieved in a linear way, that they must go through a process or follow a specific path to reach their goals. But this is a misunderstanding. The universe operates on a frequency. The moment you align with the feeling of your desire, you are in harmony with that frequency, and your reality must shift to match it. You do not need to know how or when your desires will manifest. The only thing you need to focus on is the feeling. The feeling of fulfillment is the key that opens the door to the life you wish to live. Living from the feeling of your wish fulfilled is not a one-time exercise. It must become a habit, a way of living. Each day, return to that feeling. Every time doubt or fear arises, return to the feeling. Every time you encounter a challenge, return to the feeling. This is where true power lies, being able to hold the feeling of your desired state, regardless of what's happening in your external world. This is where you begin to see real transformation. The external world will always reflect back to you the state of your inner world. If you carry with you the feeling of success, of wealth, of love, then that is exactly what you will attract. But if you carry with you the feelings of lack, fear, or doubt, then that is what will continue to show up in your life. The trick then is to change your inner world by changing your feelings. You cannot control everything that happens in your life, but you can control how you feel. And that is the secret. The moment you take control of your feelings, you take control of your life. The beauty of this is that it is not about waiting for the world to change or waiting for someone else to do something. It is about realizing that you have the power to change your world by changing how you feel. The feelings you create within yourself are the magnets that attract the circumstances, people, and events that align with those feelings. When you feel successful, the universe responds by bringing success into your life. When you feel abundant, abundance begins to flow. When you feel loved and appreciated, love and appreciation come to you. This is the power you possess. It is in the feeling, not the circumstances. So what does this mean for you? It means that the only thing standing between you and your desires is the feeling you choose to hold. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are already living in the reality you desire. The moment you claim that feeling as your own, the universe must respond. The world around you is simply waiting for you to feel it, to claim it, and to live it as if it is already here. The key to manifestation is simple. Feel it now. The more you feel your desire as if it is already yours, the more quickly it will become your reality. Feel the success, feel the love, feel the abundance, and the universe will reflect those feelings back to you in the form of your manifested desires. Live from the end result, live from the feeling, and watch as your world shifts to match your inner state. The power is yours. The only thing left for you to do is feel it. Consider for a moment the extraordinary nature of the world you experience. Every day you encounter situations, people, and events that seem to unfold before you, and many of us believe that they are simply the result of chance or external forces beyond our control. We often find ourselves reacting to life as though it is something happening to us, rather than something we are actively creating. But the truth is, life is not a passive experience. It is an active creation, shaped by the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you hold within yourself. The reality you experience is not a fixed, unchangeable structure. It is fluid, dynamic, and responsive. Every thought you think, every feeling you harbor, every belief you hold is actively shaping the conditions of your life. The world around you is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens because of you. This is the fundamental truth that can transform your life if you truly understand it. At the core of this understanding lies the simple yet profound idea that you are the creator of your experience. You are not at the mercy of outside forces. You are not a passive participant in the unfolding of your life. You are the active creator of your reality. This is where true power lies, not in waiting for the world to change, but in realizing that you can change the world by changing the way you feel and think about it. What does it mean to be the creator of your experience? It means that every circumstance, event, or encounter you experience is a reflection of what is happening inside of you. Your thoughts and feelings create the vibrations that attract similar vibrations from the world around you. If you hold a thought of lack, you will continue to attract situations and circumstances that reflect that lack. If you hold a thought of abundance, you will find that abundance flows into your life. Your external reality is not a random sequence of events, but the direct result of the energy you are radiating into the world. Now think about this for a moment. If your external reality is shaped by your inner world, then the key to creating the life you desire is in learning to master that inner world. It is not enough to simply wish for things to change or to wait for things to improve. The change begins with you. It begins with your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. If you want to see a different world, you must first see the world differently. This is where the power of perception comes in. Perception is not simply how you see things. It is how you interpret those things, how you feel about them, and how you respond to them. If you want to change the way the world treats you, you must first change how you see and interpret the world. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, see them as opportunities. Instead of seeing lack, see abundance. Instead of seeing problems, see solutions. The most powerful shift you can make is to stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and begin to see yourself as the creator of your life. This is not just a mental exercise, it is a shift in consciousness. It is a deep recognition that everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. When you change the way you perceive yourself and your world, the world itself begins to change in response. It is important to understand that this shift does not require you to wait for evidence or to see the physical manifestations of your desires immediately. You do not need to wait for the circumstances to change before you change how you feel. In fact, it is your ability to change how you feel, to embody the state of being you desire, that brings about the changes in your external reality. The outer world is simply the effect. The inner world is the cause. This means that in order to change your circumstances, you must first change your inner state. This is not about pretending that the challenges or difficulties in your life do not exist, but rather about recognizing that you have the power to perceive and respond to those challenges in a way that empowers you. When you change your inner state, when you align with the feelings of success, abundance, and peace, the external world begins to mirror that alignment. You must learn to live from the end result, not from the present circumstances. Most people make the mistake of looking at their current situation and thinking that it is permanent, that it defines who they are or what they are capable of. But the truth is, your current circumstances are not your final reality. They are simply a reflection of the energy you have been radiating. When you shift your perception and align your feelings with the end result of your desire, whether that is success, love, health, or wealth, you begin to move in the direction of that end result. However, that is not always the case and may yet in no way be absolutely any better and any worse. This requires faith. It requires faith in your own ability to create your reality, faith in the process, and faith that the universe is responsive to your inner state. It is not always easy, especially when external evidence does not immediately reflect the changes you are working to make internally, but this is where the true power lies. Faith is not faith in something outside of yourself. It is faith in your ability to change your internal world, and in doing so, change your external reality. One of the most important things to understand is that the process of creation is not always immediate. The law of creation does not always bring results in the timeline you may expect. But that does not mean the process is not working. It is working in ways that you may not yet see. And when you hold steadfast to your vision and continue to align with the feeling of your desired reality, you will begin to see the world shift around you. In this process, you must learn to trust your inner guidance, your intuition. Your intuition is always leading you toward the path of least resistance, guiding you toward the actions and decisions that will bring your desires into being. Trust that the steps you need to take will appear, and trust that you are being guided to the right people, situations, and opportunities. The key to transforming your life is not to focus on the external world, but to focus on your inner state. By shifting your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, you shift the energy you are sending out into the world. And when you shift that energy, the world must respond. It is a law of nature. You are the creator of your experience. And when you understand this, the possibilities for your life become limitless. The life you experience right now is simply a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that you consistently hold. It may seem as though the world around you is a product of chance or something outside of your control, but the truth is, everything in your life is a result of the energy you put out. The way you feel and the thoughts you entertain shape the world around you. What you believe, what you feel, and what you hold in your mind creates the life that you experience. This is the essential truth. You are not at the mercy of the world. You are the creator of your world. So the key question to ask yourself is, how does this all begin? How can you begin to shape the life you desire? The answer lies within the simple yet transformative concept of living in the end. This idea may sound unfamiliar, but it holds the power to change everything in your life. To live in the end means to live as though your desires have already been fulfilled, to experience your ideal life as a present reality rather than a future possibility. This is not a mental exercise or wishful thinking. It is a profound shift in how you engage with the world. When you live in the end, you are aligning yourself with the feeling of your desires already realized, which causes the world around you to shift accordingly. Consider, for example, the way people often approach their desires. Many are focused on the how and the when of their goals. How will they achieve success? When will they get the job? When will they meet the right partner, and so on? They often look at their current circumstances and decide that their desires are impossible or out of reach because they haven't seen evidence of them yet. This approach is entirely backwards. In reality, the evidence does not come first. The feeling comes first. You must feel the reality of your desires before they can manifest. When you begin to live in the end, you stop focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Instead, you focus entirely on the state of having already arrived. If you desire financial abundance, begin to feel what it would be like to already have all the wealth you desire. If you desire perfect health, begin to feel yourself as healthy and vibrant right now. Whatever your goal may be, step into the end result and feel it as if it is already yours. This is not about denying your present circumstances, but rather about living as though your ideal reality has already materialized. To truly live in the end, you must practice this feeling every single day. Your emotions are the key to this process. It is not enough to just think about what you want. You must feel it deeply. The feeling of already having what you want is the energy that will magnetically attract the conditions of that desire into your life. It is the feeling that sets the law of attraction into motion. When you embody the emotions and the mindset of someone who has already achieved their desires, the universe will rearrange itself to bring you the experiences and circumstances that reflect that feeling. At first, it may be difficult to live in the end, especially if your current circumstances seem far removed from your desires. But this is where the power of imagination comes in. Imagination is not merely a tool for daydreaming. It is the creative force of the universe. When you close your eyes and imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These seeds will eventually sprout and manifest in the physical world. The key is to experience the feeling of your desire fulfilled as vividly as possible. The more real it feels to you in your imagination, the more real it will become in your life. Most people are conditioned to focus on what is lacking in their lives, to dwell on what is not yet here. This focus on lack only reinforces the absence of the very things they desire. But when you shift your focus to the feeling of already having what you want, you are reinforcing abundance and attracting it into your life. This shift is critical. It is not about pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing to focus on the desired outcome, on the feeling of success, love, or health, instead of focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You see, the outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state. The world does not dictate how you feel. Your feelings dictate how the world responds to you. When you live in the end, when you embody the emotions of success, peace, and love, your world must reflect that energy back to you. The more you live in the feeling of your desires already realized, the more quickly your external world will shift to match that inner state. One of the most powerful aspects of living in the end is that it frees you from the need to constantly seek approval, validation, or answers from the outside world. When you live as though your desires have already been fulfilled, you stop looking for evidence outside of yourself to confirm your worth or success. You become the source of your own approval. You stop waiting for the world to change in order to feel good, and instead choose to feel good first. This inner shift is what brings about the outer change. It is also important to understand that living in the end does not mean you must completely disregard your current circumstances. Rather, it is a practice of seeing beyond them, of focusing on the end result while allowing the present to serve as a stepping stone. Your current reality may not yet reflect your desires, but that does not mean they are not already in the process of coming to you. The moment you begin to live in the end, you begin to break free from the constraints of your current circumstances. You stop being a prisoner of your past and begin to create a new future, one that reflects your deepest desires. So how can you begin to live in the end today? Start by asking yourself, what is the feeling I wish to experience? What would my life be like if I already had what I desire? Imagine it in vivid detail. Feel it as if it is happening now, not in the distant future. Live from that feeling, even if your outer circumstances have not yet caught up. The more you practice this, the more you will find that your reality begins to shift in response to the energy you are radiating. You are the creator of your experience, and by living in the end, you take full ownership of that power. Live as though your desires have already been fulfilled, and watch as the world reflects your inner state back to you in magnificent ways. The foundation of creation lies in the power of belief. What you believe about yourself, about your circumstances, and about the world around you shapes your reality in ways that go far beyond mere thoughts. Belief is not just a passive thought process. It is a powerful force that dictates the course of your life. It is the invisible energy that draws your desires into being or keeps them at bay. Therefore, understanding the immense power of belief and how to harness it is crucial for transforming your life. Take a moment to reflect on the beliefs you carry with you. What do you truly believe about your ability to succeed, to love, to achieve your dreams? Do you believe that what you desire is possible for you? Or do you hold beliefs that limit your potential, that say you are not good enough, not worthy, or not capable of living the life you dream of? Your beliefs are not just ideas. They are the framework through which your entire reality is shaped. What you believe about yourself, about the world, and about your future is what you will experience. Your external circumstances are nothing more than the outpicturing of your internal beliefs. The first step in harnessing the power of belief is to recognize that beliefs are not static. They are malleable and can be changed. Just because you have held certain beliefs in the past does not mean they are fixed. In fact, the beliefs you hold today are simply the result of past experiences, societal conditioning, and repeated thought patterns. They are not the absolute truth. The truth is that you have the power to choose what you believe. And in doing so, you have the power to change your entire reality. Many people are held back by limiting beliefs, beliefs that tell them they are not good enough, not smart enough, or that their dreams are unattainable. These beliefs are often deeply ingrained and have been reinforced over time, but they are not set in stone. The moment you recognize these limiting beliefs as false and begin to consciously choose beliefs that align with the life you want to create, you begin the process of transformation. Belief is the bridge between your inner world and the outer world. The moment you change your beliefs, you change your reality. It is essential to understand that belief is not merely a mental affirmation. It is an emotional and energetic state. You must not only think the thoughts, but also feel the truth of those beliefs deeply in your heart and mind. It is not enough to say, "I believe I am worthy of success," if you do not feel it. True belief resonates at the deepest level of your being. It aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions in harmony with the reality you wish to create. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Imagination is a tool that allows you to see beyond the limitations of your current reality and to visualize a new, more empowered version of yourself. When you imagine yourself as successful, as wealthy, as healthy, or as loved, you are planting the seeds of belief in your subconscious mind. The more vividly and frequently you imagine these things, the more deeply they are impressed upon your subconscious. and the more they begin to shape your reality. It is important to recognize that imagination is not a form of wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is a creative force that shapes the world around you. The images, scenarios, and emotions you create in your imagination have the power to manifest in your physical reality. The key is to immerse yourself in these imaginative exercises with full emotional engagement. When you imagine yourself living your desired life, feel it as though it is real. The more real and vivid the experience feels to you in your imagination, the faster it will begin to take form in your physical world. However, for this process to be truly effective, you must also be willing to let go of any contradictory beliefs. If you imagine yourself wealthy but simultaneously believe deep down that you are not worthy of wealth or that money is scarce, your beliefs are in conflict, and this internal resistance will block the manifestation of your desires. To create lasting change, you must clear away any beliefs that contradict the life you want to create. This requires deep introspection and an honest assessment of the beliefs you hold. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about money, success, love, health, and happiness? Are these beliefs supporting my desires, or are they hindering me? Once you identify limiting beliefs, you can begin to replace them with beliefs that align with your goals. The key is repetition and emotional engagement. The more you affirm your new beliefs and feel the truth of them, the more they will become your reality. You do not need to wait for the external world to show you that your beliefs are true. Instead, you must live as if they are already true. Act, think, and feel as if the reality you desire is already yours. This is the essence of belief in action. As you practice aligning your beliefs with your desires, you will begin to notice subtle changes in your life. Opportunities will present themselves. People will appear who align with your new beliefs, and your circumstances will begin to shift. The process of transformation may not be immediate, but it is inevitable. As you continue to strengthen and nurture your beliefs, you will start to see your desired reality take shape. Belief is also a tool for overcoming challenges. When obstacles arise, as they inevitably will, your beliefs about yourself and your ability to overcome them will determine how you respond. If you believe that challenges are insurmountable, you will feel helpless and defeated. But if you believe that challenges are simply stepping stones to your success, you will approach them with confidence and resilience. Your beliefs shape not only your successes, but also how you navigate setbacks. The power to overcome any difficulty lies in your belief that you are capable and resourceful, no matter the circumstances. In every moment, you have the power to choose your beliefs. You are not a passive observer of life. You are the creator of your experience. What you believe today will shape your tomorrow. So take a moment to reflect on your beliefs. Are they empowering or limiting? Do they support the life you want to create, or are they holding you back? Recognize that you have the ability to change them, and in doing so, you have the power to change your entire life. The moment you change your beliefs, you change your reality. Belief is the key to unlocking your potential, to stepping into the life you desire, and to experiencing the fullness of your dreams. Choose your beliefs wisely, for they are the foundation upon which everything else is built. It is often said that the key to creating the life you desire lies in your ability to align with the feeling of already having what you want. This might sound too simple, but the truth is that this is the fundamental law of creation. What you feel, what you experience on the inside, is what you create on the outside. The external world you interact with is a direct reflection of your inner state of being. To manifest your desires, you must begin by mastering the feeling of having already achieved them, regardless of your current circumstances. Most people approach their desires from a place of lack, focusing on the things they do not have or the things they are waiting for. They constantly look outward for validation or evidence that their desires are coming to fruition. However, true creation begins within. The moment you align with the feeling of having already received what you want, the world around you begins to shift in response. It is not the world that changes first. It is your inner state, your emotional vibration that causes the outer world to reflect that change. Imagine for a moment that your desire has already been fulfilled. If you were to live in the end of your desire, what would you feel? What would you experience? Would you feel a sense of joy, excitement, peace, or gratitude? Would you feel a sense of relief or empowerment? The key to manifesting your desires lies in embodying these feelings now, not waiting for them to appear when you achieve your goal. The feelings you experience in the present moment shape the reality you will encounter in the future. The more you can embody the feeling of having already achieved your goal, the more quickly your external reality will begin to reflect that inner shift. This practice of living in the end is not just about pretending that your desires are already fulfilled. It is about truly engaging with the feelings associated with your desires, as though they are already part of your experience. When you can feel the emotional resonance of your desires in the present moment, the universe begins to mirror that vibration back to you. Everything in your life, from your relationships to your finances to your health, is a reflection of the emotional energy you are putting out. If you want to change your circumstances, you must first change the emotional state you are living from. One of the most important things to understand about this process is that it is not about waiting for external evidence to validate your desires. It is about creating the feeling of already having what you want and trusting that the external world will shift to match that feeling. The world is not a static place where things happen randomly. It is a responsive force, constantly adjusting to the energy you are projecting. When you align with the feeling of having your desires now, the universe responds by bringing those desires into your experience. This practice requires patience and trust. Often, when you begin living in the end, your current circumstances will not immediately reflect the changes you wish to see. This is where faith comes in. You must trust that the internal shift you are making will eventually show up in the physical world. The law of creation works through the power of thought, feeling, and belief. And these things do not always manifest instantly. However, just because the evidence has not yet shown up does not mean it is not in the process of becoming. The key is to remain steadfast in your feeling, to continue embodying the state of having your desire fulfilled, even in the face of temporary lack or uncertainty. In this process, you are essentially training your mind and emotions to align with the highest version of yourself, the version of you that has already achieved the life you desire. This requires you to rise above the negative thoughts, doubts, and limiting beliefs that may have held you back in the past. As you cultivate the emotional state of having already received your desires, you begin to break free from the old patterns and beliefs that have kept you stuck. You are no longer waiting for external circumstances to dictate how you feel. You are choosing to feel good, to feel abundant, to feel loved, and to feel successful right now. This emotional shift creates a powerful magnetic force that attracts your desires to you. The feeling of already having your desires is not only powerful in manifesting specific goals, but it also transforms the way you experience life. When you live in the end, you stop looking at the world through the lens of limitation. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance or as someone waiting for things to improve. Instead, you begin to see yourself as the creator of your reality, capable of shaping your life through your inner state of being. As you live in the end of your desires, you begin to see the world as full of potential and possibility, not as a place of lack or limitation. You begin to perceive the opportunities, people, and situations that align with your new emotional state. This practice of living in the end also empowers you to take inspired action. When you align with the feeling of having already achieved your desires, you naturally begin to take the actions that will lead you to those desires. This is not about forcing or struggling to make things happen. It is about allowing the natural flow of inspiration and guidance to lead you toward your goals. The feeling of having already achieved your desires creates a magnetic field that pulls the right opportunities and actions toward you. You are no longer chasing after what you want. It begins to come to you effortlessly as you align with the emotional state of already having it. The power of living in the end lies in your ability to consistently embody the emotional state of fulfillment. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. The more natural it becomes, the more quickly your external world will begin to reflect the internal shift you are making. As you continue to live in the end of your desires, you will find that the life you want is not something that is far off in the future, but something that is already beginning to take shape in the present. It is not a matter of waiting for your desires to manifest. It is a matter of recognizing that they are already unfolding before you because you have already aligned with the emotional state of having them. The law of attraction is not just about thinking positive thoughts. It is about feeling deeply and consistently the truth of your desires. The feeling of already having what you want is the key to unlocking the doors to your dreams. The more you can align with that feeling, the more the world around you will reflect that alignment. So take a moment to ask yourself, what does it feel like to already have everything you desire? Allow yourself to fully experience that feeling and trust that your outer reality will soon follow. Your world is responding to your inner state, and when you align with the feeling of having your desires now, you will watch as the universe delivers them to you in the most magical and surprising ways. The world we see before us is merely a reflection of our inner thoughts and beliefs. Each moment, each experience, every circumstance you encounter is shaped by what you hold in your mind. The external world is a mirror reflecting the state of your inner being. Understanding this fundamental truth can be liberating, for it reveals to you that you are not bound by your current circumstances. You are not a passive observer of life. Instead, you are the creator of your reality, and the power to change your world lies within you, in the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you hold. The key to understanding how to create the life you desire lies in the recognition that your inner state of being is the force that shapes everything you experience. Your external world is nothing more than a projection of your inner world. What you believe, feel, and think will manifest in your life. Therefore, the most important task in creating the life you desire is to align your inner state with the vision you have for yourself. The moment you realize this, you begin to understand that everything is possible. You do not have to wait for the external world to change. You change from within, and the world responds. Every moment, you are either consciously or unconsciously projecting your beliefs and assumptions into the world. These beliefs and assumptions shape your experience, often without you even being aware of it. For instance, if you believe that success is hard to achieve, or that happiness is something that only comes after a series of conditions are met, then your experience will reflect that belief. On the other hand, if you believe that success is natural for you, that happiness is your birthright, and that the world is abundant, then these beliefs will begin to materialize in your life. To transform your reality, you must first become aware of the beliefs and assumptions that are driving your experience. Take a moment to reflect on your life. What are the patterns that you consistently experience? What are the beliefs you hold about money, relationships, health, and success? Are they beliefs that support your desires, or are they limiting beliefs that have been carried over from past experiences? Identifying these beliefs is the first step in the process of transformation. Once you are aware of the beliefs that are limiting you, you can begin to replace them with beliefs that align with the life you wish to create. The next step in this process is to shift your focus. Most people spend the majority of their time focusing on what is not working in their lives. They look at their current circumstances and use them as evidence that they cannot achieve their goals. However, the more you focus on what is missing, the more you will continue to create a reality in which things are missing. Instead, you must focus on what you desire, as though it is already yours. This shift in focus is essential because it aligns your mind with the feeling of having what you want. And this feeling is what brings your desires into being. Imagine that you already have everything you desire. Feel it, experience it. How does it feel to have all the success, love, and abundance you dream of? When you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having your desires, you begin to alter the state of your being. You are no longer living in the future or waiting for the world to give you what you want. You are living as though you already have it. And this inner shift will begin to reflect in the outer world. Living in the state of having already achieved your desires is not just about daydreaming or imagining. It is about embodying the feeling of your desires as if they are already real. This feeling is the key to manifestation. You see, the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to the energy and vibration you are putting out. The more you feel that your desires are already here, the more your outer reality will shift to match that energy. The law of attraction, which is often misunderstood, is simply a reflection of this truth. It is not about thinking positive thoughts. It is about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the reality you want to create. To create change in your life, you must begin by feeling as if the change has already occurred. Your feelings are the most powerful force in the universe. They are the fuel that propels the law of attraction. The more you feel as though your desires are already part of your experience, the faster they will come into being. If you want financial abundance, for example, begin to feel what it would be like to have more than enough money. If you want a loving relationship, begin to feel the love and connection as if you are already in that perfect relationship. The more you engage with the feeling of having what you desire, the more that feeling will become your reality. This practice of embodying the feeling of your desires requires faith and consistency. Often the world around you will not immediately reflect the changes you are making internally. However, the absence of visible evidence does not mean that your desires are not in the process of being fulfilled. The law of creation works on the principle that what you feel and believe will eventually appear in the physical world. Your task is to remain consistent in your feeling and belief, even when your circumstances seem unchanged. As you continue to align with the feeling of already having what you want, your external reality will begin to shift, and the things you have been desiring will begin to manifest. This is not a process of forcing or striving to make things happen. It is a process of allowing, of becoming the person who already has what they want. You are not chasing after your desires, you are attracting them. The moment you begin to live from the state of already having, you stop chasing. This shift in mindset is transformative, for it takes the burden of effort and struggle off your shoulders and replaces it with the ease and flow of creation. To fully understand the power of feeling in manifestation, consider this. The external world is constantly shifting and changing in response to the energy you emit. If you want to change your reality, you must change the energy you put out. The more you feel the truth of your desires now, the more quickly they will manifest in your life. The universe is always responding to your internal state. And as you align with the feeling of having already achieved your goals, you set in motion a chain of events that will bring your desires into form. Living in the feeling of already having is not only a powerful manifestation tool, but it is also a practice of personal empowerment. It teaches you that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are the creator of your world, and you have the power to shape your reality through the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you hold. When you embody the feeling of having already received your desires, you step into your full power as a creator. You no longer wait for the world to give you what you want. You create it from within. And in doing so, you begin to see the world reflect back to you the fullness of your dreams. In conclusion, the power to shape and transform your life lies within your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. You are not a passive observer of your circumstances, but a conscious creator of your reality. The external world is merely a reflection of your inner state, and by shifting your thoughts and emotions to align with the life you desire, you begin the process of manifestation. The key is to recognize that your inner world governs your outer experiences, and by living in the feeling of having already achieved your desires, you activate the creative forces that bring those desires into your life. Change begins with awareness. Becoming conscious of the beliefs, thoughts, and feelings that shape your reality allows you to consciously direct the course of your life. By replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones, focusing on what you want rather than what you lack, and embodying the emotional state of already having what you desire, you begin to reshape your world. This process requires patience, faith, and consistency. It is not about waiting for the external world to change first, but aligning with the feeling of having already received your desires. Knowing that the universe will respond to that inner shift. Trust the process. Continue to live in the end, and remember that you are the creator of your experiences. As you master the art of feeling and believing, you will find that your life transforms in ways you could not have imagined. The world around you will begin to reflect the abundance, love, and success that you have already cultivated within. Through your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, you possess the power to create the life you desire. The universe is waiting for you to step into your full creative potential.